And I think one of the things that NIP also didn't really do, which is a way to break high ground with the Shaman, is to play 4+1 away from your pos 4. Oh, Venge. I was thinking about this hero previous game, because if you want to decisively win fights into, for example, a lot of enemy team fight, then one of the strongest mechanics is forceful displacement, which is something like the Venge swap or a Pudge hook.
Yeah,
and
very big lift.
This Venge is going to provide so much extra oomph to that Lone Druid as well. Now SNG has to decide, do they go for the team fight again? Because they have two very... Well, SD is not quite single target, but they have a defensive support and a very single target support. Nyx is so vulnerable to getting pushed. Pango is their team fight. Are they going to double up on the team fight anyway, in spite of the Venge? Or are they going to try something different?
I mean, we know how Singularity like to play. They love to play around Excalibur. It's kind of the entire point of their team, is to give Excalibur this hard carry and then play around it like that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of heroes they pull out. And I'm assuming this Pango's going mid versus the Druid, right?
Yeah, that would work. Also, it would suit the MO of Ping, who was basically a wave shover last game, and Pango is also excellent at pushing waves. He's hard to catch, he 2-shots, which is a very useful ability for any mid laner to have. And
Absolutely.
What I would like to see from them right now then is a way to take towers.
Alright, so Singularity.
Well, there's a way to take towers.
It is at some stage in the game, yeah, and actually from a pretty early point in the game as well, to be honest. But yeah, it's going to be the Terrorblade coming out to Singularity, and one of Excalibur's favorites. This could turn the tide and swing the odds in Singularity's favor for this game, maybe. Putting on this commentary, of course. If you're wanting to put some money on this game, the sponsor for this tournament is 1xBet, and if you're interested, you can get a welcome bonus of €130 by using the promo code RADIANT for all your bets on WePlay Radiant matches. You can find the link on it below the Twitch stream, or in the Twitch chat, or in any of the social networks on WePlay and such, and you can sign up there and have a chance to win some money on the game. So yeah, go and check that out if you are so inclined. Meanwhile, we have a Leshrac banned out by NIP, so that would definitely have been a pretty nice pickup for Singularity. Plenty of setup for that one with the Shadow Demon and the Nyx Assassin. Meanwhile, NIP, they kind of need, I think they need their, I'm going to say carry. I think they're going to be pretty happy to put Lone Druid in the mid.
Yeah, I'm knowing that it's going to be Ace on that Lone Druid, right? That the missing hero is most likely Fata, unless they want to play him on a tempo Venge, which he can do. Like, Fata is still more of a faster player than a carry mid laner. He's definitely a 2. So... there's a bad rider, okay.
That comes out. That gives them some hard disable. I mean, really useful versus stuff like the Venge, you know? If you can get the drop on her before she gets a stopping or something like that, then it's very useful. But of course, if you don't get the Venge, then this leash is going to be broken pretty quickly. So, not sure how I feel about this one. Also, the roots as well, and the lift from the brew. I feel like there's a lot to do with this Batrider, to be honest.
It's, yeah, I mean, I was going to say it's a bit of a block pick, but that's not quite true, because they have the Nyx Assassin. Like, as long as they didn't have the Nyx, the Bat would have been a great pickup for NIP, but as it stands, no risk there. Okay. Well, color me extremely surprised.
Yeah, this is the Phantom Lancer coming out from NIP, and it's going to be Ace playing the Phantom Lancer, 33 playing the Druid.
Yeah, this is how it had to go, right? Because no way that Fada is going to play either of the other two. Which is why I was saying I expect some kind of tempo mid laner, but this is a plot twist and a half.
Alright,
NIP are saying that this is good enough of a PL game to justify just throwing their Lone Druid to a side lane, where 33, who normally had this great tempo hero, at least the last couple of games, is now on someone much slower. That's going to be a lot for Fada to do in this game.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him, and honestly, NIP just turning the draft absolutely on its head there with that last pickup. Goodness, I didn't see that coming, and I don't think anybody else could have either, because that is just madness. But obviously, Singularity, you know, they've got the Pangolier, they've got the Shadow Demon, Nyx Assassin, plenty of heroes to work around here, plenty of players to be made, and of course, all backing up this big old Terrorblade. Once again, it's going to be a race against the clock for Singularity. Can they get their Terrorblade online? Can they make him this big, all-killing, destructoid machine? Or is it going to be the PL having the game of his life? I mean, of course, with Doppelganger dispelling the reflection, which was changed quite a while ago, it does make PL much better versus this Terrorblade.
It's Club Black and not Dread.
Damn it, Gibbs. But do you consider it a counter? Do you consider PL a counter to the Terrorblade?
Yes, very much so. Like, the thing that worries me is the shift up in the dynamic. Then again, like you said, nobody could have seen it coming. Not quite in this way, but I am hitting myself for not calling that Fada could still be on that Brewmaster. That's a pretty glaring oversight in someone who should be able to help with drafting. So, still though, the twist of moving 33 to that, like we have seen him on those more farming offlaners, right? I do like this NIP draft. I do think that this is a great PL counterpick, but especially into the Batrider as well. I'm just worried about their team dynamic. So yeah, let's I'm gonna put my money on NIP just because I believe in the quality of this team over the other one. But I gotta say, I hand it to Singularity for forcing NIP to pull off such a twist, because if they don't, this game is looking very hard for NIP.
Yeah, and as well, I'm still kind of flummoxed by this Batrider pickup as well. Like, I don't understand what it does this game, especially now versus a PL. It seems even worse. So Shashlo, I think, is going to have a very rough time on this Batrider, much like he kind of struggled on the Darkseer last game as well. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw the same thing. So, leading into this game, 33 up in the top lane. It's actually got some shared tangos on him as well, so it looks like they might be sending him solo and running a tri-lane down in the bottom, perhaps. Not too sure just yet. We'll see how things start to lane up. Although, he's actually heading towards the mid lane. Okay.
One of the things that's really going to matter for Singularity is if they can get a couple of towers down early. Because if they can, they have space for this Batrider, for this Nyx Assassin to play off map. As I said before, if you push into a Nyx, he is extremely unhappy. So, if they can get some space on the map, and Excalibur's got to really pull out all stops for that one, then they can get these good engagements off. They're going to have a Pango to keep the waves out, they're going to have a lot of threat in the darkness. Whereas on the other side, these heroes need a lot of time. They need a lot of space. Look at Ace waiting around to see the mid lane matchup before possibly moving away. And it is the Pango in the mid lane, as you said.
Why is everybody just hanging around the mid lane? Like, what is this? They're actually going to go for the weirdest gank onto Ace I've perhaps ever seen as they get him trapped. You're actually going to get the Doppelganger up onto the high ground. So this is actually a really good read from Singularity, I think. And look at the blocks coming through from Ace, though. Stopping Jerry, closing the distance, and getting that stun off. Very nicely done from the PL. And that's going to make it. So they knew that they were going to be trying to swap lanes. They went for a gank in the jungle there by Singularity, which is something very unique and something I don't think I've seen before, but definitely paying off well. As now these lanes looking a little bit more stable now, as Ace has made his way down to this bottom lane. Wants to be against the Batrider, of course, because he can get away from him quite easily. And Doppelganger really useful against that hero. Meanwhile, up in top lane, Excalibur feeling the pain a little bit here, but now the Shadow Demon's arrived in this lane, he should be okay.
And this Shadow Demon?
Shashlo here. Just a bit of harass coming out from PPD onto the bat, though. I don't think there's any blood going to be spilled just yet.
No, the Shadow Shaman with the Juggernaut before was a very clear kill lane, but this really isn't. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is actually on this top lane, is that normally when you play a Shadow Shaman into these very fragile high armor heroes such as, well, you know, a Terrorblade, or I've seen it against a Morphling as well.
No, he's going to be okay. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, keeping like a half an eye on it. The other eye on my train of thought. If you would see my face, you would be laughing right now.
He is going to go down. PPD finding him in the river, and the Batrider will drop for first blood. Going solo to PPD as well. He's going to be pretty happy with that, as I'll exchange tips.
He's actually... They're tipping each... Okay.
Friendly handshake. I think that's
yeah.
like the Dota 2 equivalent of like a handshake, isn't it? Like, you know, in tennis when you reach over the net and...
It's like, alright, you got me, dude. You got me.
Yeah, yeah.
I like seeing it used that way.
I mean, I think PPD is literally chasing that Batrider around the map like the entire time. So the fact that he finally does get that kill is kind of deserved it.
You gotta respect that. Anyway, I was gonna say, Shadow Shaman, burst damage into the high armor carries, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, really nice side
which is why the Shadow Demon is such a great preparation pick for the Shadow Shaman answer, because Shadow Shaman jumps someone, you just disrupt them. And then, like, where's your follow-up? Where's your hex? Where's your anything? So Shadow Shaman jumping is not going to be nearly as effective as it's supposed to be. And they know that pick is coming.
Yeah.
Plus the synergy with something like a Terrorblade is also amazing for a Shadow Demon. They're going to have so much off-map push. They're going to have so many illusions sieging.
Disruption out, Saxa in some trouble here as they do manage to find this kill. A nice rotation from some Singularity. Ties the knot on Saxa's life here in the top lane. That's going to be the first kill for them as they draw blood in this top lane. So, yeah, Shashlo still trying to play around here, but PL basically getting a free lane out of this as the Batrider is very much not really present in here. And interesting to see how this mid lane's going. It is actually Pangalir's lane right now as the Druid little bit behind, but not really notable. More or less just drawing even right now. Is this what we expect from this lane? I mean, Pangalir obviously only recently been taking up his position in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's one of the matchups that I don't know very well yet, so I was interested to see how it was going to develop, and Sashlo is getting run down again.
Yeah, and also Jerry not particularly healthy here in the top lane, but Fata does not want to chase. Excalibur just doing his best to farm up. But yeah, I mean, you can already see things going out of hand a little bit as Ace is picking up a ton of farm on his PL. And the Terrorblade not getting quite as much so far, but of course much higher flash farm potential on the Terrorblade because of those illusions and the ability to jungle at a very early level. So definitely something for NIP to keep their fingers on.
And that jungling is what worries me as well, because they're dedicating 3 heroes right now to a dual lane for a carry who is most likely going to move into the jungle anyway.
Stun being cooked up onto Saxa here with the bear coming in though. It's just bear's hits a body block and roar people away, and that will secure them the rune actually. So nicely done there by 33, just using his hero to the best of its advantage as Shasho takes a ton of damage down here at bottom, but does get both of the runes. So very much worth it as Ace is a little bit bamboozled as the Bahango comes in from behind.
Yeah, well played by Singularity there.
Yeah, do manage to draw even despite the bit of... I mean, it's always that nice thing, you know, you should never aim for 2 runes. You should always aim for 3 runes, because then at least if you lose 1, you're going to get 2, you know? Simple math. So exactly what Singularity
is that true, though? Because if you spread your forces, you might be in a lot more trouble than if you just take what you want and get out again.
That's true. Managing your expectations, very important lessons, not just in Dota and in life. As Saxter, well, he's expecting to survive here, but oh, the poison nearly finishes them off, and the South will get cancelled by another poison. Jerry chasing hard, but he's got no mana. Meanwhile, Fatter is just annihilated on the backlines by this big, scary Terrorblade. Jerry's still trying to take down Saxter. He's got that stun. He really wants to land it. Jerry, can you do it? Can you do it? He's not going to land this stun. Do you think he is?
Oh. No, I don't think so. Oh.
You're pretty far behind. You're pretty far behind.
Yeah.
He denies the haste rune before he goes down.
That is just
Saxa.
efficiency.
He is just the most efficient dude. And Jerry's even going to die for this as well. So, although, nice stun coming in. Lands it onto 3. And Penguin's going to be here as well to bounce people around like the big bowling ball he is. But now probably needs to get himself away. But he's got a swashbuckle to work with. So, not too concerned about that. Meanwhile, Shashlo being chased down in the bottom lane. Ace closing the gap with that doppelganger. Getting right on top of Shashlo here. He's trying to run around the trees, but unfortunately there is no escaping the lance as he does fall in the bottom lane. 411 gold for that as well, so Shashlo giving quite a lot to Ace down there.
At least he's getting the solo farming experience on Sasha right now. He is keeping up decently with the other cores this time, with Fata actually suffering the most. And also in levels actually. I gotta say here, I have a choice between being like 3 seconds behind and 15 seconds ahead. And so far I'm opting for 3 behind, but I might change it up if stuff keeps happening.
You could look
like
like
this.
an absolute god. Yeah, I think this druid's dead in the middle lane. Oh, but Kips, no one's here yet. Oh wait, never mind. PPD making a rotation into the middle lane, pops down that ward. May see a little bit more than perhaps he's wanted to here. As in comes the banishment, and Pingvin looking to follow up. Nicely done, times it perfectly. The bowling ball through the river, and PPD doesn't stand a chance. He can't do a thing about that. Let's get his ward down though, but we'll probably get dewarded pretty darn quickly.
Yeah,
sad story of PPD there in the mid lane.
Yeah, and one of the things that I enjoy is that Excalibur still hasn't retreated into the jungle yet, so they are using the time of these supports wisely. It's not like, alright, you know what, you babysat me, but it wasn't enough, so I'm off now anyway.
This wasn't a bit of trouble down there, but was able to nicely Phantom Rush his way out of danger, and then the Firefly ends, so the threat is gone. Now, Fada just getting a wee bit poisoned here in the top lane.
A wee bit poisoned?
A wee bit poisoned, yeah.
Is there such a thing? Is it like a little bit pregnant?
True.
Dire's mid tower is under attack.
Anyway, yeah, Ace is loving this game right now. That weird little play on the mid lane is just... It is so worth it to 100% secure that you're gonna have the lane that you want.
Yeah, I mean, not even that, but you're also kind of ruining this Batrider's game as well. He's a lane dominator. He's picked to shut down heroes, and he is currently over 1k behind his laning opponent, so things not looking too happy for poor old Shashlo, as expected. Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic boon for your team if you're able, as a captain, to say, okay, guys, you know what, 33, you're playing Lone Druid mid. He's like, cool, fine, yeah. Fata's like, all right, you're playing Brew offlane. Like, okay, cool, whatever, you know. If it's going to work, it's going to work. And that's clearly what PPD said this game, and when you have a team which just trusts your captain so, like, implicitly, it's nice. It's a feel-good feeling. This is the power of friendship.
The power of friendship.
Or maybe leadership, I'm not too sure.
The power of good business.
Yes, the art of the deal.
Fana, you get to play Brewmaster. Oh, nice. 33, you get to farm. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the carry rotation, so this is the tower trade. Ace is up on this top lane, putting pressure into the tower. And I saw Excalibur making his way to bottom, but he was still farming the offlane triangle, which means that there is not as much pressure on this bottom tower as there is on the top one. And Fad is actually making his way over there. He's just going to get to save this tower, I imagine. Yeah, it's just a Batrider coming down there. So this is looking like a free top tier 1 for NIP.
Alright, well, that feels pretty good to get free towers. I mean, well, it's going to cost Ace some mana as Jerry comes in with a mana burn, so not free. Everything has a price, Skips. Everything has a price. As we say that, actually, they seem to be backing themselves away. Pingvin is here with an Invis rune. This could be a nice opening for Singularity if you can find enough information. You can tell he's very scared about any lingering sentry wards here, and stacks their position in the trees beautifully, but now Pingvin will see it, and they make the play onto PPD. They're going for the easy one, take down the position 5, and, well, he's kind of just sitting here like, I can't really do anything here, and he will die.
Yeah, that was a weird back off for me because I'm guessing that they read the backup coming in, but on the other hand, you did have the catapult coming close to the tower. I think that if you stand there with 3 heroes, you can quite possibly take that fight and take the tower, but NIP take it slow. They got the mid tower. I'm not sure, did it go down during all of that?
Yeah, I think so. No, he's run to the jungle, yeah, it did.
Yeah, alright.
Once the Fangoli was gone.
That is the much better trade. Like, mid tier 1 is the most valuable tower in the game because of your Roche access, because of the fact that it keeps the mid creep wave, which bounces the fastest. The mid creep wave because of the lane being shorter, meets each other sooner than anything else. So you want to keep that mid tower in order to keep from having this giant point of vision always moving into your territory. And I think that's the reason why NIP backed off. Then they're like, alright, they're not that in mid.
33 could be in some trouble, though. The lasso is out onto him. They'll bring him back and into the bowling ball, and Penguin finds another now on a dominating streak. So they look towards Pada as well. They see him in the trees. He does have the split available, but can't get it off in time despite using the wand in order to have it. But does go down. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, I mean, Ace will push in this tower, but it's going to be a flat trade now. And they also lost a lot of heroes for this as well. Down it goes.
Yeah, you do not want to lose 33 there. Really not. Having 2 cores on that bot lane would normally indicate a desire to def it, but none of the supports were really near. The PPD taking his levels in the mid lane.
Battle Fury on the Phantom Lancer. Hello.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay.
People picking up Midas all over the place. And, yeah, Ace is just like, hey man, I remember that time Arteezy did it. Yep, my turn now.
Well, it's not just Arteezy, because this is a very valid choice into a Terrorblade no matter what. Plus, he's gonna farm like a madman.
Getting caught again. The position 6 truly in effect here as PPD falls another time. Now 1 and 3. You know, not too bad. So Brew has a Midas and Phantom Lancer has the Battle Fury. Meanwhile, Singularity not really going for any of these farming items. They're just kind of saying, well, we've got a Terrorblade. He is a farming item.
He is, yes. And that makes 2 Midases on the side of NIP, because there's one on the bear as well.
Yep. Bamboozled by the item screen. Yeah, of course the bear's running around with one. And he's making his way towards a Radiance also. So going for the bear build. He occasionally raises its ugly head. Well,
this is NIP really counting on the fact that the only real tower push that Singularity has is on this Terrorblade. And he is going to take his time, most likely. If Singularity feels like, oh man, they bought all these farming items, we have to go, they can still adjust, but they have to do it now. And it has to be a team decision to go now. And it looks like they're grouping up for mid lane, so maybe it is happening.
Shashlow's flying around, but I can't really find anybody looking for that lasso, but will get scared off by the bear. And no blood being spilt, and no even engagement being had in the mid lane as NIP just completely avoid the rotation of Singularity here, so they will be forced to back off and defend this top tower, because guess what? There's some snakes down. That's right. It's going to be annoying little Saxa doing his thing on this Shaman, and luckily they're going to rotate the Batrider off to clear off these wards, but meanwhile, Jerry, he's going for a hunt. And there is PPD here. But there's also a ton of heroes behind him, so it's not really an initiation you can take. Oh, he's just going for the bounty, actually. Oh, that's nice. That's going to be 3 bounty runes going to Singularity. NIP weren't expecting to get that one robbed off them.
Oh, man. NIP is actually in quite a bit of a pickle here, because they can't fight right now, but there is also a lot of darkness on the map, and just Nyx is roaming around, so they want to farm, but they gotta be very careful, because there could be a bug assassinating you from nowhere at any time. So they're gonna be way more grouped than they'd like to be.
Yeah, kind of forced into playing a different strategy than they're really into right now, but I guess that's kind of part of the art of Dota, as Jerry could be in some trouble. Does reflect the stun from PPD, but doesn't change the fact that he is in the middle of a lot of heroes. The disruption will come out in terms to buy him a little bit of time, but really there's no escape for Jerry, as EGM will be dropped by 33. And I love the Pangolier. You know how pangolins in the wild, like they disappear into the ball to get themselves away? That's exactly what he was doing, like a defense mechanism where he just immediately jumps into a ball and rolls himself, gets the fuck out. Meanwhile, the Poshka, oh, he's going to be okay. They're a little bit scared. They see Shashlo flying around, hanging around on this Batrider, not interested.
Yeah, that's risky. You don't go up the high ground there.
I love this farming game as well. It's basically the PL and the Terrorblade both just trying to hit creeps as fast as possible and seeing who comes out on top. Meanwhile, Hex out onto Shashlo, but I think Saxa might be dead. He's dead. And now they have the lasso. PPD tried to TP in to help out as well, but he is also going to drop. So both supports being annihilated in the bottom lane. They just get their pasta boiled. And
thank you for the catapult. Yeah, very good. Okay.
Get that tower. Meanwhile, Jerry doing a little bit of spotting. He's actually going to find Fata here. He wants to get the stun off. Will do so successfully, but it's looking like... I mean, maybe they just want to force the ulti here. Oh, no, never mind. He's just going to die. Stunned up by the Spike Carapace. Gives him the opportunity to get the kill before he can get the ulti off. And guess what? Excalibur's here. He's Metamorphosis, and him and his boys hitting down hard on this tower. Thank you very much. 100 gold, and however much it is for the team as well. Ace still trying to push up in this top lane, this Battle Fury PL, trying to do his best to pour some pressure here onto the top lane. But, you know, this tower, don't forget, it had wards dropped on it. It's still pretty healthy considering it's a tier 2, which has had a PL occupied up here for a very long time and had some snakes dropped on it earlier as well. Meanwhile, Excalibur and the boys getting to work.
Yeah, he definitely brought the entire gang. Which is like, this is getting awkward for NIP now.
A lot of friends, Excalibur. Many
They
friends.
showed a Battle Fury +2 Midases, and they have no way to keep the waves out. Apart from this one Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, but now that meta ends, it is going to be the Terrorblade kind of slinking back into the jungle, you know, just comes out, does his thing, peacocks around a bit, and then comes back in once that meta's gone, and then continues hitting creeps. And I'm sure they'll wait for the next meta and do the exact same thing again. Actually, I think the rest of the team probably won't even slow down, to be honest. They've got such a good rotation lineup with this Batrider and this Pangolier, and even the Shadow Demon to an extent as well, that they can keep on trying to find these kills and put pressure on this team, which, as you say, has gone for very slow, long game items.
And they have the space now. Several towers down on both sides. There's Boots of Travel on the Batrider. And one of the things that worries me the most is actually that Fata hasn't been able to get off a single good split yet. He's died at least twice now. In defensive positions where you'd really want that underfarmed Brewmaster to get off these turnaround moments, right? Ha, you thought me. Here's my drinking buddies.
Yeah, exactly, but it's just not happened. And it's not like it's a team with a ton of lockdown either, you know. They've got a bit, but I don't know, they've still done a fantastic job of keeping Fata from, using that ultimate, which I'm not even entirely sure he has this game. Meanwhile, that Nyx Assassin was spotted out in the mid lane under the wards, so swapped back in, though. Spike Carapace going to help him out, and again, you know, Jerry just casually running away. Much different to last game where he kept on picking off on the Magnus. You know, every time he came forward, it felt like. Meanwhile, they've got Lasso onto 33 down here in the bottom lane. Pingvin, though, oh, this is awkward. 33 is absolutely fine from this, so not too sure what the plan was. And now the rest of NIP coming in. The stun onto 2, but not all 3. And it is the Hex which comes out onto Jerry, which is going to change this. Although Fata's dropping low. He has got a split available. Pumping it. Doesn't want to use it. Jerry being run down by Ace here. The PL looking for blood. Wants the Nyx Assassin. The reflection comes out. Jerry going to be actually kept alive as he's trying to hold up back on that stun there. Will land it onto the illusions, but not onto Ace himself, who now comes forwards. One more Spirit Lance does do the job. Jerry is dead, but they're looking at Ace now. Shastro trying to close the gap. Meanwhile, the bear randomly TPing out on the side of the fight. PPD dropping low. He is just going to be collateral on this, but they are still chasing Ace. They know who they want, and they are chasing him down, but he's so damn tanky. He's actually just going to make it back into his base. They don't have the disables. They don't have anything to catch him and slow him down, so we'll just be able to flat out run away from Singularity. And don't think NIP will be very sad about that engagement as they get the Nyx Assassin and the Shadow Demon and only pay the price with their Venge.
And they get to hold on to the Brewmaster split. That was, I think a lot of players would have just popped it there, and maybe they get an extra kill with that, but that would mean that Singularity can immediately just march in for the base. And Fata decides to risk his own life.
Hex out onto Shashlo here. Snake's being used as well. He finds it with the shackles in the tree. Shashlo poking a little bit too close here, and this will be the end of Batrider. 3-time skill streak going the way off Fata as Pingvin trying to push down this bottom lane at the same time. So 21 minutes in, and things looking pretty good for Singularity, but of course NIP, they've got these big momentum items coming into play now. These Midas is going to start to bring themselves back. The Radiance, of course, in play as well. All these items going to add up and really accelerate NIP and probably bring the net worth advantage back onto their stage. Pingvin as well with these Greaves just coming out to him as well. Very useful items, help him fight up and give his team the advantage they need. You know, they really want to start pushing down on these towers. And a Blink Dagger also out for Fata as well. Gary does see this. So it will not be the blink reveal they're really looking for, as the blink is spotted out on the Panda here as the stun comes in. Once again, they do miss the Impale, but in comes Excalibur. Fatta getting surrounded and will be brought down once more. Still unable to get off this primal split. And now the split jump comes on to Miposhka here. Okay, the Shadow Demon got a little bit too close for comfort and will be brought down by NIP. PTPD finds the initiation with the swap and makes it an easy kill. And NIP, you know, these trades, it favors them so much. You know, when you have these long game teams, when you have these teams which are looking to kind of play it slow, an equal trade equals an advantage for that team, and NIP is that team in this case. So an even trade absolutely favors them, even if it is your off laner in exchange for a position 5. I still think they're kind of okay with that. It's not the one of the druids or the PL. These two heroes you want to be farming this whole game, so that's absolutely fine. Ace Battle Fury coming in.
They can't hold without the Panda, so it is very hard for them to fight into that as long as Miposhka doesn't give his life away there.
Being a little bit cheeky here, kind of toying with the idea of Roshan, just making Singularity know that, hey man, we're going to be giving this a go at some stage, so you better keep an eye over here, you know.
He has so much money. Just 2 minutes ago that he finished up that Pantasal, and he could just straight up buy a Diffusal Blade if he felt like it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Excalibur having space, but Ace also having a ton of space as well. And also, if you look at the two mid laners, looking at who's going to scale better, it is obviously the lone druid. You know, this Pangolier, he's pretty much at his peak right now, I would say. And yeah, I don't feel like Singularity are doing enough about it.
He should be going right now.
Yeah.
He has the Greaves. He can... It's confusing to me because that's the natural rhythm of the Pangolier, right? You build up until you get to this point and then you just go.
Swap out onto EGM, stun out as well. Meanwhile, we have a Lasso also coming back, but it drags back Saxa. Okay, so they get the kill on Saxa at least. Singularity, can they find any more? The hamster ball running forwards, but he will have to back himself away on the Pangolier. So, NIP... They managed to bait out a good couple of ultimates there. Did they use meta for that though? I don't think they did, and that is kind of like the big spell. They did.
They did?
They didn't. I thought you said they did.
No. I tapped into the game to look at buyback status.
Oh, okay.
So I was a little bit distracted.
Gotcha. Ace chasing down Shashlo here. Shashlo going for the TP out, but is not going to make it. Ace gets the kill, and Shashlo will die. I think his corpse actually in base there, one of those deaths where you do actually finish the TP, but unfortunately the last tick of damage comes in, and you're dead. Meanwhile, Bounty Rune does go to Fatta, Jag gets one as well. Meanwhile, Pingvin in the middle lane will just get extra up by Saxa. Trying to get a bear, will just TP himself away. And Roshan trying to be soloed by Ace here, and with Fatta, I think he's got this Vlad's just sitting outside of the pit. Going to give him all the health he needs to get on with this one as the snakes come down as well. Even the bear jumping in to get involved. It's going to be a very quick Roshan. Singularity going to throw in some poison, so maybe looking to do something about this. Swap comes out. And there we go. We got Miposhka shackled up and torn apart by 33. Tried to kind of get some vision into Roshan, but did just end up dying. And Roshan will go down to NIP, and this is big. This is a massive part for NIP's draft, because now they have that survivability on their Phantom Lancer. They're less scared about what Singularity can pull off. They don't really care about running their heroes into this Terrorblade anymore. Things are getting rough, but of course, how strong is Terrorblade? Is he strong enough?
I don't think he is. I don't think he's
not in a game against PL.
Managed to get the distance on this PL, especially with the Battle Fury build coming in. So the biggest worry for me is that Ace is gonna build a heart. It's not gonna take him long to get it at all, and when he gets that, NIP can just siege. And I don't see, like, unlike the previous game where Singularity had this big team fight presence, these huge spells coming in, this burst damage, there is nothing they can really do right now to stop an Ace from pushing and then getting out, and then pushing and then getting out again.
yeah, there's just not enough AoE lockdown to deal with him inside of his illusions as well. And this is going to be a real problem for the Terrorblade and the whole Singularity, to be honest. Also, still, you know, he was forced to use his last ultimate defensively, the Pangolier in the middle lane.
They're just chewing through the towers.
Yep, and only a 1k gold advantage for NIP, but quite the opposite to last game. Whilst it's a tiny little advantage for them, it feels like so much more.
Yeah. And they're actually going now already. They're saying, we have Aegis, we have this bear.
Yeah, that is good. So much poke damage as well, just from the bear being there. I mean, he's going to rule them off. He's getting pretty low on this bear. I think they've used a lot onto him here, especially with that. Oh, he's going to be okay. Soulcatcher doing a lot onto the Spirit Bear, but he's going to be fine.
And NIP's still got a catapulter staying. And
now they back
so Jerry coming back.
Away.
No,
Okay.
they're not anymore.
Yeah, they say that's fine. You know, we'll get a shrine. We got the tower. Shrine's opened up. Let's get rid of those. Just keep taking objectives. Don't go too ham. There's no reason.
Yeah, with getting the shrines down now, their map control is pretty much absolute.
Yeah, and when you've got these heroes, a druid and a PL core lineup, a full map is sounding like a very tasty morsel indeed.
Yeah, I mean, all of the farm on the map is gone in a couple of bites with just the two of them. Like, the only bright spot for Singularity here is that they still got Jerry. And as long as they still got Jerry, they can still keep NIP relatively grouped and scared to get picked off.
Yeah, I mean, the next assassin, Batrider, always going to be a threat. Talking of which, lasso out onto Saxa in the middle lane, dragging him right the way back, and that's going to be a kill. Now Singularity, what do you want to do with this? You've got yourself a kill on the 4 position. Is it enough to actually make a play? I'm not even sure it will be, to be honest.
I think that throughout this game you're going to see NIP keep the buybacks on their lowest 3 heroes, so on Vata, on Saxa, and on PPD, just to make sure that they can play a little bit more out there.
Yeah.
And buy back in case of base defense, and yeah, Singularity is not going to take this.
Yeah. Press the button in case of emergency. And yeah, Singularity to back up. They want to take back the map control, and they've got an aggressive ward down. Happy with that. Actually, that came down on this. They didn't even use the time to ward. They were just like, yep, okay, cool. Happy we got a kill. Push in some lanes, force NIP back into base, and split up and just try and get this Terrorblade as big as possible.
I feel like this Terrorblade has got to buy a Blink Dagger or something, because otherwise you're not really going to get on top of anyone. And
well, 5 breaking out as Jerry actually held still by the shackles and taken down on the Nyx assassin. PPD somehow surviving through the middle of it all as a reflection comes out onto the PLs. It's a bit of a clash here. Ace though just chasing forwards, not remotely scared about this reflection at all. As Maposhka getting run down, he's just losing all of his health. The Shrine going to help out Wand as well, but Ace has smelt blood and he will get the kill. Maposhka does die. Swap comes out. Who have they found? It's actually Penguin in the back lines. The Pangolier brought down as well. NIP find 3 big kills here in the Radiant jungle, and that was pretty big. That's even more space, even more time bought for NIP to just push in. And yeah, they didn't get the Terrorblade, but I'm increasingly just convinced that they don't care about him. They don't care about this Terrorblade, who's just going to be constantly run over by this PL.
yeah, you could see there, Singularity does not want to take that fight. They don't pop the meta. And I think honestly that if you're not gonna pop it there, you gotta decide way beforehand and just not go at all. Because they lost several more heroes there than I think was strictly necessary. If Excalibur doesn't walk in there like, hey, what up, I'm gonna do something, and oh wait, no, never mind, no I'm not. Then I think they get to keep at the very least the Pangolier, who also went in way later.
Can they kill the bear? Yes, they will kill the bear. Actually, Maposhka getting the kill there as reflection. Server's not happy about this one, as all these PL illusions summoning their own illusions. So,
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
but NIP are backing themselves away up onto the high ground now. Just being cautious.
Dire's middle tower has been
Yeah, I
destroyed.
imagine that. Let's see, is the heart already finished?
The Aegis? Oh, the heart, sorry. I mean, the Aegis is gone.
Yeah.
I don't know if the heart's finished on Ace, though.
Because
Singularity.
that's going to be their next big go time. Imagine. I think it is. I see he has a lot more HP now than...
Shashto jumping forwards, gets a lasso out onto PPD, so they will be able to take down the support nice and quickly. Pingvin running forwards inside the Rolling Thunder, and they're going to get the stun out onto 33, running him down as well. Can they get the lone druid? That is a question. The ultimate is out of him from Maposhka, and the stun out onto both of them. Ace also held down as well. The split comes out from Fada. The Brewling's doing a bit of work as Ace running forward. They're actually looking to take this fight on NIP with Saxa jumping on the sidelines. They've got Maposhka held still. First kill of the fight comes out for NIP, but immediate buyback from Maposhka. Meanwhile, Saxa playing around with Jerry in the backline for the rest of Singularity coming in. They want to punish Saxa here, and they will get that kill. Excalibur finds him. Meanwhile, Shashlo hiding in the trees. Doesn't really want to get caught down by Ace, but also wants to keep an eye on his movements as he's running back towards this middle lane, and we'll just send out some illusions to push it down, but also getting himself away quite wisely. So 1,800 gold gained by Singularity, despite using that buyback on Maposhka. But, you know, it's Maposhka. He's in position 5. Who really cares? A big win for Singularity up here in the top lane. Roche will still be a while before respawning. It's about a minute left until it might respawn, and then, of course, you've got that unknown region to find out when. Oh, picking things up. It's a 1k gold advantage. Still a very, very close game for NIP. It's interesting that even though we're 33 minutes into the game with a Midas, two Midases and a Radiance, and a Battle Fury on the side of NIP, they're still unable to take the gold advantage very convincingly.
There's just not that much gold on the map.
Yeah, right.
At some point you're maxing out.
Yeah.
And did I just see a full Mjolnir picked up by Excalibur? I think I did. So we are getting... These two carries are really itemizing into each other.
Yeah, alright. Mjolnir, Butterfly, Manta style on the Terrorblade. Dude is large.
Large and in charge. NIP just taking this easy. They know they got the better late game in the end, but they gotta be careful with those overconfident engagements like the one they just took here in the Dire Jungle.
Yeah.
Where, yes, you can fight that if you immediately make the call to fight. But as soon as PPD got picked off, Ace ran out already. And then when they got to turning, their positioning was already way worse than at the start. If you fight
they've got the lasso out onto PPD. Once again, he is going to get blown up, and the stun out onto Fada as well. Can they take him down before he can get the ult off? This would be huge, but no, still manages to get the split. Meanwhile, Excalibur lifted up in the middle of everybody, taking out the fight as Jerry's being run down on this Nick assassin, but a nice disruption from Maposhka going to keep him alive. Meanwhile, Pinkfin just trying to cause some chaos. The reflection comes through and just doing so much work on these fights to ruin this PL. Doppelgangers it away, though. And again, it does... Okay, Excalibur's in the middle of everything here, actually. Stunned up. Jerry coming in, trying to help him out, but the reflected shackles is not going to keep him stunned up as I have Scatty doing so much work. 33 is gone. Excalibur still fighting up. He hasn't got health, but he doesn't care. Now comes out the Sunder onto PPD. Thank you for the health. Now you are dead, and they've taken down 3 heroes in this middle lane, and they're still looking for more. Jerry hunting forwards, can't find Ace. Ace is surviving every single fight, but so is the Terrorblade, and they did manage to get the lone druid in this engagement. He doesn't have buyback. Maybe Singularity can actually breach high ground here.
This is why I was talking about that, you know, maybe Excalibur should buy a blink dagger or something, because he wants to be in the middle of everything. He needs to be in the middle of everything. And once he does, you can see that this damage output is incredible. As long as NIP gets to kite him, nothing happens. But here they have to deal with him, they have to fight him, and boy oh boy.
Radiant has just had to blow a Forcify, by the way, for just Terrorblade illusions, which were multiplied by Maposhka on the Shadow Demon. Yeah. They were going to lose a tower to that.
I would really like NIP to realize here that they are in the driver's seat of this game as long as they are pushing and they have this bear in front, you know, forcing reactions onto him, onto the buildings, instead of these sort of free-form fights where Excalibur will just go ham. And look at that man, he found a double damage and just taking Roche.
Oh, thank you very much. It's his turn with a double damage rune, of course. Saw PL with one earlier, so only fair that Excalibur gets his turn, and that Roche goes down instantly, and Excalibur is scooping up everything. Does actually give the cheese over to Pinkpin. What a generous god Excalibur is. Thank you, Mr. Excalibur. Meanwhile, immediate jump in actually from Fata in the middle lane, getting the initiation on here, but PPD once again lassoed and killed off immediately. Pinvin is taken down by NIP, but Fata nearly drops, but no, he gets a split off in time. It's Excalibur dropping really low, looking for a target to Sunder, but over on the front of the fight, Jerry dropping low, 33, as running him down with Fata's illusions helping out as well. Jerry will drop. Zax are dead as well. The Terrorblade, well, I think that's just an illusion lifted up here in the middle. Oh no, it's a real one. Couldn't tell in the air, but he's trying to run himself away here. He does have a Sunder to work with if they get close enough for it, and says, hello Ace, thank you very much, I'll take your health. And we'll quickly manta away that reflection illusion, but Ace is kind of in a bit of trouble here. They're trying to close the damage up into him. He will be able to doppelganger down onto the low ground though, and that will be Ace escaping, limping away from the fight after a very reckless engagement from him, but does not end up paying any price here, so calculated we should say. Now that heart will kick in and heal Ace back up to full. I don't even know whose engagement that was. I mean, I guess the Pangolier died, so really it was a loss for Singularity, but at the same time, like, Singularity came really close to killing off a couple of heroes there. Fata nearly dropped, PPD did die and had to buy back. Also, Ace there at the end nearly falling as well, but unfortunately they didn't have the spells to lock him down with, so definitely going to knock NIP's confidence a little bit and basically make Singularity feel really good. They also didn't take the Aegis off the Terrorblade, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, they're going to be pretty happy with that one on the side of Singularity and can probably do the exact same thing again once the Pangolier is up in 6 seconds. I don't think they're going to be relaxing on this pressure.
Not at all. And NIP needs so much time to reset from these fights every single time that they don't get the space to push out waves on their own. So this siege situation that I'm talking about, that would be ideal for them. They're not getting it anymore. The buildings of Singularity are so far away right now that they're going to get intercepted and forced into this 5v5 every single time. And they don't want to take those fights anymore. They really don't. So right now, the pressure's coming back into mid and Excalibur's feeling strong.
Very strong, yeah, and you can hardly blame him. Look at those items. The guy is huge, and that tower is not going to last very long. And he's just looking at the range tracks. What's up? There's some range tracks right there. Does drop pretty low just to the harass. I mean, he hasn't bought a ridiculously tanky item, so quick Sunder onto the illusion there. Has he got the Sunder cooldown talent? Hard to tell.
I can check that for you. Because that is, of course, the...
It's actually not 25 yet.
It's not 25 yet. Half a level left.
So, no, doesn't have it. Gosh, I mean, 39 minutes and not 25, I guess that's okay, but I don't think anybody's actually reached 25 yet, so...
Getting very close on a couple of them.
Oh, he's lined up the crits. He wants to blow people the hell up. That's a good plan as any, gotta say. And actually popping the meta here, just wants to blow up this bear, but the Raw is onto both of them, so forcing him back quite a way as 33's bear will be dropped. That's 300 gold. Gonna have to resummon that guy. And if they can kill it again as Ace comes forward this time, but again, you know, taking a ton of damage as Shasho just runs in, throws down a Shiva's guard. The swap is actually out onto Excalibur here. Stun to follow up as well. Excalibur held still, but now in comes a save from a Poshka, and they actually have the lasso out onto Ace. They've got the real Ace. Can they bring him down though? No, he gets a doppelganger off in time. Meanwhile, Excalibur just lifted up into the middle of the fight, thrown into the air. They're toying around with him here. They're trying to maybe bring him down. They want this Aegis pretty badly on the side of NIP. Ace jumping into it, but he's taking so much damage. He's actually stunned up. They've got him locked down, but can they find the damage? Once again, Excalibur in the air, unable to get off his DPS. So once again, Ace will survive despite being caught out by Singularity. That was a lasso. That was a stun. They had Ace, but they couldn't find the kill because NIP are doing such a good job on keeping Excalibur out of these fights. How does he get his damage off?
It goes the same the other way, though, because that was, I think, 2 times Shackle onto Excalibur. There was a stun. There was Ace on top of him all this time, but he's just not dying. He's not... Both of these carries are alive, but this is Excalibur doing that being alive thing. This surviving, this putting out all of his damage in NIP's base. Yeah. And that is the big difference.
Oh, lasso out onto Fata. This is a big target. Do they have the lockdown? Pinkvin right on top of him, but the swap from PPD brings him up to the high ground. PPD will die, and actually, Pinkvin is there. He's on top of Fata with the Rolling Thunder, just keeping him locked down. They're going to get both of them. What a play for him, Pinkvin, just following, keeping his eyes on that target, and then keeping him locked down in the perfect position there on the high ground with that Rolling Thunder. That is 2 heroes dead. There's also a refresher on, is that Excalibur who picked that one up?
Yep, it is.
More metamorphoses for him. And yeah, I mean, he's got 38 seconds on it, but might just want to pop it now, to be honest. I wouldn't even be surprised. Let's see what they decide to do, though. Is he going to be greed and wait out the 30 seconds? Looks like he is.
Yeah, and they're just going.
They are just going, absolutely. 63 seconds, no Panda. This hurts. Excalibur turned into a chicken, but it's going to take more than a chicken to stop Singularity right now as a reflection comes through. Immediately doppelganger off, but their bottom ranks are just being destroyed here. NIP, they feel like all they can do is watch. A wave of terror here and there. A couple of illusions sent in, but it's not going to stop the onslaught of Singularity right now. Wow. NIP. They do actually back off on the side of Singularity. They've got a tier 2 up at top they need to deal with. So that will be the next port of call for the side of Singularity. But definitely feeling very good about this game so far. Ace of this Battle Fury able to defend off these super creeps pretty easily. Probably won't struggle with Megas either if it does come to that stage. So again, you know, it's not a game where taking Mega Creeps actually ends this game. So I still don't think... Yeah, I think it's going to be a long time before NIP are actually considered... like lost, but definitely losing at this stage, which isn't what we expected from these lineups, from these items they've built.
I mean, it's been 20 minutes since they came close to the base of Singularity, and you heard me saying that they've got the late game. I presume NIP thought the same, but the fact is that they have the late game if they can keep Singularity on the back foot. But Singularity got their moment, they took the momentum, and now NIP hasn't been able to take the kind of fights that they've been gearing up for. There's a PKP. Is this man just going to buy an item a minute from now on?
It does look that way as the lasso comes out once again onto PPD. They know the man they have to bring down, and they will do so. Ace also dropping really low in the middle of this as well. Shashlo's running forwards, trying to find the target, just laying down the fire, and they found Zaxa as well. Meanwhile, in the middle of this fight, Pinkfin trying to get himself away from Ace as Ace backs out. The damage, they want to 33. Excalibur is just beating into him right now, doesn't care about the bear on his back, as 33 has dropped down as well. 83 seconds, no lone druid. As NIP, they're coming back in, though. They want to find Excalibur. They're looking for the kill as the shackles are cancelled pretty quickly by the Lotus Sword. Is Excalibur just going to thunder up and take down Ace? He is going to get the kill onto Ace. The Phantom Lancer is dead. The Terrorblade is the victor, and they're running forwards for more. Zaxa chasing down, or being chased down, sorry, by Shashlo, and the right click comes through. That gets them the kill. PPD swap back onto Shashlo, stun out as well. Meanwhile, Ice coming through, trying to kill Maposhka. Maposhka in some trouble as Ace trying to chase him down, but Pingvin is here, does get the disarm and the silence as well. No, sorry, did not get the silence. And now, oh no, the damage, the Terrorblade, he's laying into Ace. Ace, he doesn't have another life, he's dead, caught out by Pingvin and by Excalibur, and that is going to be GG called. Singularity take game number 2 in this best of 5 series. Wow, what a game from them, what a performance, never losing hope in Excalibur, and boy did it pay off.
Excellently played by them. They know their timing so well. They know that if NIP spreads the farm across all of the zeros instead of, you know, going one-on-one with Excalibur, that Excalibur as the receptacle of all his team's abilities and items, the Lotus Orb pickup, and the amount of saving disrupts, and the way that they always go in for PPD when they jump, it was just so well done by them. They really knew what targets they had to hit, and NIP felt a little bit spread and disjointed, like everyone wants to get theirs, you know? I gotta get my farm, I gotta get my Midas, I need this, I need that. And for the side of Singularity, it was only Excalibur needs this.
I'm gonna ask you a very hard question. Do you think NIP's kind of form of disarray in this game was perhaps brought on by the fact that they did swap up the roles and had 33 in mid and Fata on the off lane?
Fata on the off lane shouldn't be a problem. I think it's more because of the heroes. Like, one of the things that I think pro players are very good at is really following their hero. And for me, that sort of lays it down at the draft, where this twist is only good if you adjust the play of the lone druid to it being, you know, much more of a, how do you call it, like a utility bear. Whereas if he, like 33, feels like, hey, I get to farm because I have a lone druid and that's what my hero does, then this is going to happen. So he had to play more against his hero there, which is yeah, you can debate whether or not that's his mistake or like PPD's mistake in the draft, where he should have gone for, all right, we play this lone druid game and we play it out until the end
Yeah.
instead of forcing this twist.
Yeah. Okay.
It's debatable.
It
So
is.
I'm
It is,
gonna
and
I'm
definitely.
gonna dodge your question here.
Well, no, I mean, I think that's fair enough. And I think it's something which NIP will be looking at and asking themselves as well, because, you know, flexibility is really important for any high tier team, which is what NIP are, of course, aiming for. I also want to point out Excalibur, you know, we said he was having a good game, but my goodness, look at these stats 14-0 and sitting at 966 gold per minute, just under 700 last hits, one last hit away from 700 last hits in that game. That dude farmed. Like, I mean, Team Singularity, they're kind of known for already putting all of their resources into Excalibur, and this game he basically just showed us why.
Yeah, very, very well carried by him. Clearly showing that he's worth all of that trust that his team puts into him. And yeah, NIP, they got broken with the same opening. So it is up to them for the next game to really find the right solution. Are they going to trust in this same opening once more, or are they going to have to switch it up? I'm interested.
Me too, and I'm sure you guys are as well. And of course, stick around as we'll be coming back very shortly for game number 3 in this best of 5 series, which some of you may not have thought Team Singularity had a chance in, but they're definitely putting in their 2 cents and probably the whole pound afterwards as well in this match, and hopefully the next ones to come. Stick around for that. Going to be up very shortly. We're going to throw it over to a quick advert. My name's been Nomad, she's been Kips, and we'll see you very shortly.